Hello everyone, happy 2024. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara, and I accumulate a lot of makeup empties throughout the year, every year. Because I don't bring too many new makeup products into my collection, I managed to finish up a lot over the course of a year, and I keep those products until the very end of the year, which is kind of annoying. It kind of takes up a lot of space, but it is totally worth it because after 12 months, I can see what I've gone through over the course of that time, how many items I have finished, and it's just a lot more satisfying to sort of see your work laid out like that. So today's video, as you already know, is going to be me showing you all of my empties over the course of 2024. So I have every kind of empty here today, but I'm going to start off with makeup because that is definitely the most exciting. Makeup tends to take a lot longer to go through than skincare or hair care products generally. And then we will move on to all the body care, skincare stuff. Would you like to see what it's like? So this is the bag that I keep my makeup empties in. It actually doesn't look like that much to be a year's worth of stuff, but I think there's at least 20 products in here, if not 25. And then the everything else category is here. It's barely fitting into this Lululemon bag. I've got a couple more items here that just would not stay in. A ton of stuff, but as you can see, you know, these types of products, they tend to be a lot bigger. So this is a large bag. I will not spend as much time on these empties as I am going to spend on the makeup, but in any case, I think that this is going to be a long video, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna go category by category because I feel like it will be more organized in this way, and I will also be able to like take pictures of each category after. It's just easier to keep track this way, and so I will also be able to compare it to previous years of how many products I finished. I will also be letting you know which of these products were in a project pan, if possible, if I remember. So first, let's start off with foundation. We've got the Maybelline Dream BB Pure foundation. This was not in a project pan because I was just using it up organically anyways, because at one time this was like basically the only foundation that I had in my collection, so I knew it would eventually get used up. This was passed on to me from Shauna, who didn't like it that much. I didn't love it, definitely would not repurchase this, even if it was not cruelty-free, but it was fine, it was definitely usable. It wasn't something that I was hate panning. So first foundation there. Second one is this, wow, this got kind of destroyed in there. This Merit foundation stick in the shade Dune, and I actually went in and scraped everything out of it. As you can see, I loved this product. This is something that I would consider repurchasing, and I put the remaining product when I scraped it out into this e.l.f. container. When it was in here, I did not like it nearly as much. I just didn't find it as easy to use when I wasn't literally drawing it on my face, but because I had this, it made me realize that I like this kind of container, and it made me think that I would like having a bronzer stick, and so that is something that I am planning to get soon. So yes, love this product. Didn't love it as much in this container, but this is a foundation. So this year I finished 2 foundations. In terms of concealer, I've only got one empty to speak of. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. This was decluttered to me by Shauna as well. Again, I thought this was okay. I didn't love it. Ooh, definitely smells off now, so I'm glad that I got that used up. I would not repurchase this. I've heard good things about the foundation version of this, not so much the concealer, but again, it was usable. I wasn't hate panning it. Okay, in terms of bronzer, I just remembered something. So I have all the products laid out in front of me, right? And I see one bronzer here, and I was like, wait, I finished 2 bronzers this year. And then I remembered that I have this other bag of empties. I just keep this for the makeup products that I finish every month or every other month, and then I talk about that in a separate video. In my last empties and declutter video, I think it was at the end of November, so I haven't actually talked about the things that I ended up panning in December, so I will obviously insert those when we get to those categories. There's not too much, but definitely worth talking about. And one of them is a bronzer, of course. So I finished 2 bronzers this year. They're both minis, but I'm still happy about that because for a while I have been not the biggest fan of bronzer, but I think I finally come around to it. I think it's finally happened. This one I finished earlier in the year. This is the cream bronzer from Fenty. I think this is actually a blush, but on me, it was a bronzer. This is in the shade Cheeks Out. I really liked it, and it made me realize that I like cream bronzer, whereas I used to think that I preferred powder everything, basically. But I didn't like it enough to repurchase it. This was decluttered to me by Shauna as well. So we're seeing a lot of things that she decluttered to me in 2022 moving out in 2023. But that was a great declutter on my part for her to declutter all these things to me. This was the NARS bronzer mini in Laguna. I just finished this, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't sure if I would be able to finish it by the end of 23, but I did, and I didn't end up repressing it because I knew that I would put it off and put it off and put it off. And if I put it off for a couple of weeks, then that would just mean that I wouldn't get use out of it during that time, and I was less likely to finish it by the end of the year if I repressed it, ironically, because I would have put off doing that for however long a period of time. So anyways, I managed to finish it without repressing it. I like this. Not enough to repurchase it, even if it was cruelty-free, but I am glad to have used it because I know this is like a classic in beauty YouTube. You know, everyone is familiar with this product, everyone knows it, so now I have this like benchmark of, okay, that's what that bronzer is like. You know what I mean? Blush. I actually don't have any blushes that I finished this year, but for good reason. I started using lipstick as blush in 2023, and I finished a ton of lipsticks that way. I just figured that that was more worth my time than working on the blushes because I have way more lip products than I do blush. But in the highlight category, we've got kind of 2. This, oh man, this is like solidified. So this is the Highlight All Over Shimmer from Stila. This expired a long time ago, but it was a present and I hadn't gotten very much use out of it, so I kind of just kept it around even though I didn't use it. I just thought it looked pretty. But like, can you see? It's a liquid product and yet it's not. It looks like it's completely solid now. So that's great. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot thicker. Whoo! Whoo! Good thing there's no smell-o-vision on this. So I decluttered that. I'm not talking about any of my other makeup declutters, but for the decluttered products where I'm not passing them on to someone else, where they're effectively expired, I will mention them in this video. This is one that I actually did manage to pan. This is the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. This was in my project pan. So were these. Both of them were in my project pan. All year, I think I might have started trying to pan this in 2022. It was a long haul because, you know, highlights, they take a long time. They're some of the hardest products to pan. And this was a liquid product. It didn't smell bad. Like, it wasn't going off yet, but because it's liquid, I know that it eventually would. So I kind of just wanted to move it out of my collection as soon as possible before I worked on any of my powder highlights. I like this, but the tone I think was not exactly right for me. It was a little bit too metallic. It was like a cool pink. I have another highlight that is a pink that I like a lot better, but this was not it. But either way, I liked it, but I would not repurchase it. And then the last sort of like face skin type product was these e.l.f. Shine Eraser oil blotting sheets. These were in my project pan. I like these, but I just wanted to get them out of my collection. I don't think I will repurchase oil blotting sheets in the future of any kind. I don't know. I don't feel like it's something that I need in my collection. Okay, I've got everything else laid out in front of me now. Let's end with lips because that is by far the biggest category, the most impressive. And let's do mascara and eyeshadow first. So I only managed to finish 2 mascaras this year, which is surprising to me because I feel like mascara is something that I was also really actively working on panning this year. Like, I didn't use too many different mascaras because I really wanted to get the ones that were in my project pan out of my collection. So I wasn't too successful with that. 2 is better than nothing, but I really would have preferred to get like more more like 4 done. But you know, it's not like I wasn't using them. I feel like highlighter lip products could be something that I was like, oh, well, I just like forgot to use or didn't feel like using. Like I was using mascara every day and sometimes multiple times a day if I was using one of them as brow gel, which both of these I managed to finish them off by using them as brow gel. But somehow they're sticking around. Probably part of it is because I had contact solution to my mascara when it's seeming kind of dried out, which I don't need to do, but I'm still like, there's still product in it. Like, why wouldn't I use it up as fully as I possibly could, you know? So this is the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara, and this is the CoverGirl Nature Luxe Water Resistant Mascara. Didn't really like this one, really, really like this one, but still glad to get both of them out. Would I repurchase? I don't think so. I love this when I first got it, but I just think that mascara is one of those categories that there's always new formulas out there, and if I had no mascaras left in my collection, I would definitely be trying new products rather than repurchasing ones that I already love. Even if that's a bit of a gamble, I love trying new mascara formulas. So these two were both in my project pan at one point. Next is eyeshadow. We did do a bunch of eyeshadow decluttering this year. I had a couple of palettes leave my collection, which I was very happy about, but I just have not been very good at panning full eyeshadows. That hasn't been my goal, but I also just haven't focused on that this year. The previous year, I can link it, I did a Pan Those Eyeshadows series, which was very effective in decluttering my eyeshadow collection. Not so much in actually panning the eyeshadows, but this year I didn't do that. I focused on my lip products, which I think really bears itself out in the number of lip products that I finished this year. But anyways, these are the ColourPop eyeshadows. These are Super Shocks. I really, really like them, but with Super Shocks, you just need to make sure that you are getting a ton of use out of them in the first 12 months, because after that, they start to dry up. I think I've had these about maybe 3 years now, maybe 4 years, and 2 is probably about the maximum that you can expect to get out of them. So these are a declutter, of course, not an empty, but still wanted to mention them. And then we have eyeliners. Quite a few eyeliners that I finished this year. Some of these were declutters. One of them, I think this was just one that I decluttered recently, so you wouldn't have seen it, but this actually came in a NYX eyeshadow kit. It was like eyeshadow, lip products, shimmers and stuff like that, and then also this eyeliner. And I have so many black eyeliners, so I definitely don't need this, but I just didn't like it when I used it. It's super, super smudgy. I have the opposite problem sometimes where it like, I have to press really hard in order to get it to work. This one, you have to press so, so lightly in order to get it to work, and I don't love that. You can't really tell. It's nice and black, but just because I have so many, I'm like, if it's not great, there's no point in keeping it. So I am going to be passing that on if I can. I don't know if anyone would want an eyeliner, but I have too many, so I don't need it. Another one that is more of a declutter is this Marc Jacobs one, which just entirely dried up. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to bring it up. Ew, it feels all gross. Like there was some liquid on it. Ugh. But yeah, this was just dried up. I think I probably used this a couple times. I really regret not using this when it was still good, because I've heard that the Marc Jacobs eyeliners are great, but unfortunately, back when I got this, I just had far too many products. That is part of the reason why I'm trying to curate down my collection, so that I can actually enjoy everything I have and not forget about certain things. So that is a declutter. But 2 eyeliners that I managed to finish are this one from CoverGirl, the Perfect Point Plus. This got kind of broken. The top like wouldn't screw up properly, and I don't know if you can tell, but the like bit at the top is like very sort of wonky, it's kind of sideways. So I would not repurchase that because I had a lot of problems with the component itself, but I thought it was a good eyeliner. And this one is the Urban Decay double-ended eyeliner. So I managed to finish up one side, and the other side is purple, and I don't like purple eyeliners, so I just decided that it is time to declutter it. There's still a lot of use left out of the purple side, but I have so many eyeliners, again, it's not worth my time for a shade that I don't love, but I'm still gonna count this as an empty because I did finish one side. So 2 eyeliner pans this year, which is good because I've got a lot of eyeliners. And this one is another declutter. This is from Maybelline Eye Studio. This is super dried up. Again, another dried up product. I don't ever want to have dried up products again, and this is all part of why I am on this no buy. I could get some use out of it, but it's just not great. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth using a bad eyeliner. The potted form is kind of interesting, but I just don't think that that's my preferred way to use an eyeliner. That is everything except for the lip products. So let's move on to those. Lip products. Okay, where to start? Let's do some declutters first because there are 2. First is this ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip, what are they called? Matte lipstick in Trap. This just smells real bad, so I knew I had to declutter it. Okay, it's not as bad as the Stila product, but like this is obviously off. I think the color has changed also, and there's some like blue in there, which makes me think that there's like mold. Not sure if you'll be able to tell that. But yeah, this is not a great shade for me anyways, so I didn't have too many conniptions about decluttering this. Definitely did not get enough use out of this, unfortunately. I have a lot of these like matte lip products that are just sitting there expiring in my collection because I don't wear them anymore, unfortunately. And then we've got this one, another one that expired. This is the Green Me Kiko Lip and Cheeks product, and you can see the mold on this one. Do you see that? I'll give it a sniff. Whew. Yeah, not good, not good. This could have been a cool product. I actually love the idea of like a crayon, like drawing something on my lips, but I don't even think I sharpened this one time. And you can see you're meant to sharpen it. So that was bad on me. This was purchased back when I had way too many products that I just simply wasn't using everything. Again, my goal is to avoid that problem, but this was the year that I decided to declutter it, even though I could have done so like a long time ago. I just finally got up the nerve. Okay, the rest of these, I used them all up, so I'm really pleased about that. I guess let's start with samples, like the smallest ones, because yes, I am counting these because they took just as long as the full sizes, I think. So we've got 2, one that is pan and one that is not. This was part of a trio from KVD as like a sample pack. I think it was like the birthday gift. This is in the shade Vampira, and I hated it. I couldn't make it work on the lips, on the cheeks. I think I even tried it on the eyes once. I don't know. I have a lot of dark lipsticks and I like them, but for some reason I was not feeling this. I was like pushing myself to use it every time, and it wasn't worth it. Obviously not something that I can pass on to someone else. So I thought it would be the same issue with the other 2 that were in this trio, but no. The shade Lolita, I loved. This was like a perfect lip shade for me, perfect blush color. This is something that I would repurchase one day, maybe, depending on how many lip products I have in my collection. But it honestly, even though I was using it on lips and cheeks, this took me months to get through. I don't know. I have a third one, obviously, and I should probably time it and see how long it takes for me to finish it, because it looks like so little product, but it honestly took me months, which some of these other lip products also obviously took me months. Only one lip liner. This is the Estee Lauder Automatic Lip Pencil Duo. This was in my lipstick project pan, so I will link that series here. But basically, I have so many lip products that I did an entire separate project pan series just trying to use up my lip products. This is something that I will continue this year, I think, but probably later on, because it just so many project pans going on. But I love this lip shade. I can't even scroll it up at all, so you can't see what the shade was, but it was, again, basically a My Lips But Better shade. Now that I finished both of these, I only have one My Lips But Better shade in my collection, which is kind of too bad, but it's fine. One day I will purchase more, but I just need to work through all the other lip products in my collection first. Love this. Great product. I don't think Estee Lauder is cruelty-free, so I would not repurchase, but it's just sort of the idea behind this, the like shade of it. I realize that I don't have enough nudes, so I will repurchase another nude one day. Lip balms, we've got one. This was a present from someone. I don't even know what the brand was or anything, but this was so hard to use up because I hate using my finger to dab stuff on my lips. I just avoid it at all costs, and obviously that is what you had to do with this. So this came in a trio pack, and lo and behold, I didn't finish the other two, but I recently decided that it was time to declutter them because I simply don't want to have to go through with these what I went through with this one. Oh, it's from Cherry Tree. That's the brand. And you can see, like, it's a cute idea, you know, but just not for me. I would say this is vanilla-y. This is also vanilla-y. That one I think was more like mango. But yeah, obviously I've never used them and they still smell nice, so I'm gonna try to pass these on to someone else. I just decluttered these this month, so that is why you have never seen them before. They were at my parents'. I have this like drawer of random, mostly makeup and like hair products, like I don't know, miscellaneous bobby pins and old nail polish and whatnot that I'm slowly trying to clear out at their place. But these are definitely declutters and not empties. But I had them in the back of my mind for a while to declutter, and now I have finally done it. So some other lip products. This is more of a balm type. This is the Baby Lips, and I fully used everything up. I scooped it out. I did not like this. I would not repurchase it. This was in my lipstick project pan as well, and I had so many Baby Lips in my collection at one time. This was the final one, and I'm so glad that I will never have to use a Baby Lips again for the rest of my life. Then we've got a Revlon lip butter, which I actually really like the formula of these, but I didn't like the shade of this one because I don't like hot pink. But again, I forced myself to scoop it out and use up every last drop. I would not repurchase a pink lip product ever again. I do have other lip butters that I enjoy, but this shade, no, would not repurchase for sure. This is another product that I had so many multiples of in my collection. This is from Revlon, and I've just been working through a bunch of these over the past few years, and this was the last one that I used. The rest of them I decided to declutter, but I did not scoop it out because I just could not deal with that. I disliked it enough. This is more of a lip balm texture, but I just didn't like the shade. I didn't like the shade of any of these ones. I'm so glad that all of these are out of my collection. Huge relief. Need a little break, but I've got 3 more lip products. This one is from Kiko. This is another one I'm so glad to get out. Would not repurchase anything in this shade. This was like a grayish mauve, again, in my project pan. All of these that I panned in the lip products were in my lipstick project pan. Not great formula, didn't love the texture, didn't love the way that it lasted on my lips or the shade. It was cool to try something in this shade, but I definitely would not repurchase something like this again. And then the final 2, these are both from Bite. This one I finished earlier in the year. It was in the shade Glacé. I really, really liked this, but more as a cheek product than a lip product. I just didn't. I think I liked the way that this looked on me maybe like 3 to 5 years ago, the shade, but it's not that it was too dark. Like, it was too dark, but it was like a dark nude, which I don't like. But great as a lip product. Of course, Bite is no longer in business, so I would not be able to repurchase this, but I wouldn't repurchase anything in that shade for sure. And then this is another one. This is in the shade Chai. I scooped everything out of this one as well, and I'm still working through that. As a cheek product, I've got a little bit on my lips and on my cheeks today, but I wouldn't purchase anything in the shade because again, it's like a dark nude, and I just don't love that on myself. Even though it's a mini, this took so long to finish, but I'm really happy that I decided to get these out this year because they're really nice, but I'd had them for a very, very long time. They were all, again, in my lipstick project pan. But those are all of the makeup products that I panned in 2023. Can't believe it. So, okay, let's move on to all of the skincare, hair care, other products that I finished this year. These ones I'm going to do a lot quicker, okay, because I know this is already going to be a long video. So first, let's talk about what I decluttered in the past couple of months / finished. This one is the Peach Slices Snail Rescue All-in-One Oil-Free Moisturizer. So I love this moisturizer, and I feel like it's one of those things that at the time when you're using it, you don't fully know how you feel about it, but then when you move on to something else, you're like, oh, now I miss that. Like, now I know. I'm using the Ordinary moisturizer now, which is fine, but I just love the texture of this one. It is oil free, and it really feels like it sinks in your skin and doesn't leave that like oily residue that pretty much all other moisturizers feel like I have. Like even the Ordinary one now, it doesn't feel like it has an oily residue, but then like in the morning when I wash my face, I can like still feel it on my skin, you know, and I don't like that feeling. This one, you don't feel anything. It doesn't feel sticky that evening or the next morning or anything. Unfortunately, it is with snail mucin concentrate, so obviously it's not vegan. I didn't realize when I purchased it. I got it from Ulta, so like, you know, when I was in the US, obviously I couldn't return it, but I really, really like this, and I would be interested to try other Peach Slices products if and when I have access to them. Then we've got a declutter. This is the body butter from Bath and Body Works. Someone decluttered this to me, and I just decided I don't need another body butter moisturizer type product. I have a lot that I need to work through first. It smells pleasant. It's clearly never been used, so I think someone else would enjoy this for sure. It's also not cruelty free, so you know, I don't feel like I need that. We've got another body lotion. This was just like a little hotel version from a long time ago. I don't know why it took me so long to use up, but I'm glad to have that out. We've got a toothpaste. I like this, nothing else to say about it. And then we've got a nail polish declutter. Oh man, this looks so disgusting. Let me show you. Like, what is going on in there? Is that mold? This is clearly dried up on both sides. I never used this side. It's just like a bright red shatter type product, but this, I love those like rose gold gem look things. So I bought it for that, but yeah, didn't get enough use out of that, unfortunately. I don't use nail polish that much anymore, to be honest. Just like a light shimmer. Okay, let's move on to the products that you would not have seen before that I panned earlier this year, and you would have seen all of these, so I'll go through them very quickly. I've got a 30-second cap on each product. These are going to be in a slightly random order, so just beware. This was the Hello Activated Charcoal Mouthwash. This was the only mouthwash that I've ever used, I'm pretty sure. I just don't know if I feel that mouthwash is necessary. Maybe I'll ask my dentist about it next time I go. But I did like this. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it's better than those like Listerine. Just like thinking about Listerine makes me want to gag. Like the flavor and the like chemicaliness of those are just like so disgusting. This was just like minty and a bit charcoaly, so quite pleasant. Dove deodorant. This was good. I don't know, probably would repurchase, I guess, but I would prefer to use a slightly more natural and vegan organic seeming deodorant, you know what I mean? Smaller business maybe. This is the Muscle Soak Luxury Bath, like a salt soak. You know, like stuff you put in like a bath to help your muscles recover. This was fine, would not repurchase. Gillette deodorant. I think my partner used this and then he decided he didn't like it anymore one day, so I finished it for him. Would not repurchase. It was fine. Got a little mini from a Buns tray. This is the L'Occitane shampoo. I like this, but I only use shampoo bars now. So this is the kind of thing I would just get in a trade, but like not purchase. Pacifica Kale Charcoal Ultimate Detox Mask. This I think was a little too stripping or intense on my skin because it always sort of like tingled. It was sort of that line between like tingling and burning. Like it didn't feel great when I put it on my skin. Maybe I just had it too long. I'm not sure, but I would not repurchase this. Ooh, we've got another mask. This was more of a declutter because it definitely expired. It smells terrible. It's completely full, unfortunately. Another declutter. This is the Garnier Body Ultimate Beauty Oil. This smells real bad. Unfortunately, I let it expire. I hope this is the last year where I have a lot of products that expired because I didn't use them up in time. Like it feels awful and I never want this to happen again. But this probably smelled good at one point, but now it does not. Batiste Dry Shampoo. This was decluttered to me from a friend. I love this, but they're not cruelty free, so I would not repurchase this. You've got the Supergoop Sunscreen. This is in like the jumbo size. I obviously cut it open to get everything out of it. I really, really enjoy this sunscreen. It is a little bit too greasy / oily for my preferences. I probably would repurchase it again in the future, but I'm happy just like trying other products out for now. I do feel like this is good value because there's an e.l.f. one that is clearly a dupe, and one time I calculated the prices and I'm pretty sure they were like pretty much on par with each other just because the e.l.f. one was so much smaller and because I had purchased this in the large size and at the Sephora sale. That sort of blew my mind that like a high-end expensive product could be the same cost as an e.l.f. product. So definitely like do your calculations before you purchase products, assuming that they will be cheaper from the drugstore. A little toothpaste sample. We've got a face wash. This is from Dove. This was my partner's as well that I was forced to use up. Did not like this, would not repurchase. This is the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA. This is what I'm currently using now. I've repurchased this time and again. I don't love it. It's just inexpensive and it's easily accessible for me, but I'm definitely open to trying other moisturizers. So if you know things that are similar to this or just like good for oily skin, let me know. This is the Pacifica Seafoam Complete Face Wash. I really enjoy this. I've used a lot of Pacifica face washes in my day. I'm not sure that they're my favorite, but I would continue to repurchase them in the future because I really like the brand and I like the scents of these and the packaging a lot. Okay, we've got this Crest whitening gel. This was a declutter. I just eventually stopped using this and so it definitely expired. I probably got this in like 2018 or 2019. I'd had it for a while, just not using it. So this was the year I decided to declutter it. Got quite a pile accumulating down there. Another Batiste mini dry shampoo. I think I got this in a buns trade. Some more toothpastes. Another deodorant. Another face wash. This is from the Body Shop. This is the Tea Tree Skin Clearing Facial Wash. Love this. I'm currently using another bottle right now. It is very, I don't want to necessarily say stripping, but it just very much feels like your face is fully clean with this. There's some cleansers I have where like I know for sure I need to like go in with more micellar water or another cleanser afterwards. With this, like I always will use another cleanser or makeup remover, but like you don't need to. Like this does the job fully by itself. It removes everything. Another Batiste mini dry shampoo. This is an eye cream from Apothecary in Black. Again, all of these were presents for my partner. I think his sister gave them to him or something. He just never used up any of them. So I ended up using this eye cream. I don't know if I believe in eye creams. So far, I haven't found that eye products have made any difference. I was happy to use it up, you know, just moisturizes the area at the very minimum. But I don't think it's something that I would purchase. I'll use it, but I won't purchase it. This is the Ordinary sunscreen. I repurchased this because I liked it, but now I no longer like it and I kind of regret having purchased it because I'm really trying to work through that product that I have the backup of. It just leaves such a white cast. It is very, very mattifying and that is why I liked it, but now I just don't find that it's worth it because of the white cast. So would not repurchase again. Then we've got two moisturizers. These are both from Pacifica. They're the same. I just finished both of them because they are 50 ml, so obviously it didn't take very long to get through. This was 80. Okay, so quite a bit more than either of these. I really like Pacifica moisturizers. I like everything I've tried from Pacifica, but I think these are getting close to like $20 Canadian each, and that just doesn't seem worth it to me anymore. So that's why I've started repurchasing the Ordinary ones, which are more like, I think the $12 price point for 100 milliliters. I like these, but it's just a lot of packaging and a lot of money for a whole lot of not very much. But my favorite Pacifica product is this Kale Water, the Micellar Cleansing Tonic. This is my favorite Pacifica product I've ever tried, and it is no longer in existence. It has been discontinued. The scent is just so pleasing to me. I feel like I've got some scent memory with it of like eucalyptus or something. It reminds me of something that I can't quite touch, but I love it. This is just the best micellar cleanser that I've ever used. I've been through the whole, what is that really, really popular one? I did not like it at all. I'm currently using the Garnier one, which I like, but this one is just the best. And I've never seen anyone else talk about it. I don't know why no one feels that way. I love this. I miss it. Something I would for sure repurchase if it still existed. Okay, let's continue. I think we're almost done. This, oh, something leaked in here because this is wet. I don't really want to, I've just been tossing everything on the floor. I've accumulated quite a pile. I don't really want to toss something wet on there. But this is the Body Shop Maca Root and Aloe deodorant. I really like the scent of this. I found it very pleasant. Oh my God. it's so wet. That's kind of gross. But it's so small. This is only 75 grams. So for example, the other deodorant is over 100 grams. This is only 75, and it really feels like it. Like it seems very small. I did enjoy it, but it's just a lot more expensive, so I probably would not repurchase that. Another deodorant. This is from Tom's. I quite like this one. This is my favorite natural deodorant so far, I think, but it's even smaller. This is 64 grams in the scent Beautiful Earth. Yeah, this was really nice. I found it a bit less effective than like your classic Dove deodorant, but it didn't really bother me so much. Maybe not so great in like the extreme heat, but the rest of the year, this is good. We've got some skincare products from Milk. I have actually liked their skincare products better than their makeup products. I mean, I've only tried, what were the products that came in the birthday kit? It was like the mascara, the blush, and the primer. Really did not like the primer. The mascara has grown on me. Don't love the blushes, but I got a couple of these, I think in a Buns trade or something, and they're just some like skincare products, but I really enjoyed them because you like swipe them on your face, and I just found that a lot more pleasing than using my fingers to put things on my face. I love the like swiping on my face motion. I think that's what I've learned this year with like foundation sticks and bronzers and whatnot. But yeah, I really liked both of these. Not sure if I would repurchase those because I didn't find that they made any difference. I just liked the packaging. We've got another dry shampoo from Amika. This I really, really enjoyed, but I didn't find it any better or worse than like the Herbal Essences or Garnier or Batiste dry shampoo, so probably wouldn't repurchase it because it just wouldn't be worth the price. Ugh, everything feels wet in here. This is the Lush No Draught dry shampoo. This was a powder rather than a spray, and I like that because I know it's more sustainable to use a powder like this, but I just found it kind of inconvenient to use. You had to be a lot more careful with how you applied it to your hair. And again, it's a dry shampoo that's just, it would be a lot more expensive for not any better of a product, I found. We've got a couple more toothpaste. Damn, I feel like this is even more toothpaste than I've had the past couple of years. This is the Harajuku Lovers Music perfume. This used to be my holy grail perfume in like high school. Oh man. Scent memory is so strong that I love this. This takes me back. It's so nostalgic for me that I considered keeping it around just because of how much I love this product, but I think I'm gonna declutter it. Like all of these things I think I'm gonna bring to a loss of 10 to recycle because look at all this. I can't keep them in my apartment. I don't have space. We've got a sunscreen. This is from Garnier. This is the L'Ombrelle sunscreen. I must have like squirted this out into the garbage or something because I really, really didn't like it, but it feels like it's empty. Yeah, I don't remember using this up. I did not like it, would not repurchase. Not my fave. We've got some minis. These are from the hotel. Yeah, just like shower gel, shampoo, etc. Obviously things that I just wanted to finish off. Another sunscreen. This is the Be Better Broad Spectrum Sunscreen. I kind of liked the texture of this, but it was a little too, I don't know, slippery maybe. Like it was quite sticky, so wouldn't repurchase that. We've got the Clarins Peeling AHA BHA product. I actually love this. I don't know if I've got the other one, but I got a couple of, ooh, there it is. A couple of little samples given to me, and I really like both of these. This one was the niacinamide serum. This was the AHA product. And so kind of because of this, I realized I needed to use BHAs and AHA. And so I have since repurchased some, which I have really enjoyed. But this was kind of the kickoff. I really like both of these, but neither of these brands are cruelty free. So I would not repurchase, but I remember really liking the peeling product. So maybe one day if they go cruelty free, I don't know. This is the moisturizer from Lush. This was Celestial. Oh, that smells terrible actually. But I remember liking this little moisturizer. And then I've got this little perfume sample. I did not like this. This was from Shiseido. I was just trying to finish up all of my perfume samples, and I thought I had back in like 2019, 2020, but I found a couple more. The other one I decluttered to my sister. This one I finished. These are some eye drops, very exciting. And the rest of these are nail polishes, which I realized were all dried up. I don't have nail polish thinner, and I don't particularly want to buy any because it doesn't make sense to like buy another product to revive things that I don't use as it is. I just don't use nail polish that much. So these are all getting decluttered, and I've got 8 here. So I'm actually quite pleased to get these out of my collection, even though at one time I loved all of these. I just want them gone. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is so many products. This was kind of exhausting. I knew it would be an exhausting video, and that is why I put off filming this for so long, but I knew I had to do it. Would you guys have preferred me to split up the makeup empties and the skincare, etc. empties into 2 different videos? I have done that in the past, but I wasn't sure what you guys preferred. So that is it for today's video. Obviously, I'm not talking about a book today because this video has been so long, but thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all next week.